Hola, mi nombre es Karen Mejía y hago parte de la tecnología de costos de análisis y presupuestos. Y hoy, para cumplir con la actividad de la semana número 5, yo elegí leer un artículo de la revista Harvard Business Review titulado We Make More Beautiful Choice When Using Pen and Paper. Entonces, esto dice que from ordering food to buying a new book to making a charitable donation, more and more decisions that used to be made on paper are now being made on digital devices like tablets, phones, and computers. And this trend toward digitalization has many advantages, in particular when it comes to efficiency and sustainability. But could it also be negative, influencing how we make decisions? We conducted a series of studies with more than 2,500 participants across the US and China to explore the impact of the medium used to make a decision, with a particular focus on decisions with some sort of moral component, such as whether or not make a donation to a charity or whether to choose healthy or unhealthy treat at a restaurant. We asked the participants to make a variety of these sorts of choices using either a paper form or a digital tablet. And despite controlling for all other variables, we consistently found that people who use paper made more virtuous decisions than those who used a digital device. For example, participants who read their options and made a selection on paper were significantly more likely to give money to charity, choose a healthy tree, and opt for an educational book rather than something more entertaining. When a decision feels more real, we act more virtuously. Why might this be? Our research suggests that the key mechanism driving this effect is how real the decisions feel. We asked participants in two of our studies to describe how real or tangible decisions feel, as well as the extent to which they perceive the decision as representing who they were as people, and they consistently indicated that making a choice on paper felt more real and representative than making the same decision on a digital device. Follow-up analysis confirming that when a decision feels more real, participants were more likely to feel that it was representative of who they were as person, ultimately making them more likely to go with the virtuous or responsibility option. Interestingly, we found that this effect does not occur when people are making a decision on behalf of someone else. In another experiment, we asked participants to choose an entry either for themselves or for a friend on paper and on a tablet. When choosing for themselves, participants were much more likely to select a healthy options on paper and on a tablet. But when choosing for a friend, the medium have no effect on their choice. This further supports the idea that people are more likely to select the virtuous option when it feels like the decisions reflect who they are as person. Whereas when a decision isn't related to themselves, the realness of the medium makes less of a difference. To encourage virtuous decision making, consider using paper. It may seem like a minor detail, but our research shows that the medium with which your customers, employees, or community members make a decision can have a major impact on the choice they make. This has implications for marketers, policymakers, and anyone seeking to encourage any sorts of virtuous behavior. For example, to encourage customers to choose healthier options, restaurants may consider option for paper rather than digital menus. Similarly, parents and educators may opt to provide students with paper rather than online book or their forms to increase the chances that they choose educational reading materials. Charities and political groups may also benefit from paper platforms and volunteers sign up sheets rather than relying on websites or apps to solicit support. Indeed, the shift to remote and hybrid work has pushed many decisions that might once have been made exclusively on paper onto digital platforms. While our experiments look at very specific set of decisions made in controlled environments, it's possible that similar effects may be at play when it comes to in-person versus virtual interactions. If a decision made over Zoom or via online would feel less real into less representative of who you are than an equivalent in-person interaction. It could have important ramifications for the virtual workplace, though there are no doubt many other factors that contribute to employees' decision making in a real work setting. Of course, using paper is far from a guarantee of virtuous behavior, and it certainly doesn't make sense in every context. It's also important to consider the impact of paper products on the environment, and if you do opt for paper menus, forms, or other decision-making materials, you should always aim to use recycled paper and make it easy for people to reuse and recycle when they don't. There are also businesses for which paper just isn't practical, such as e-commerce platforms or fully remote workplace. In this context, managers may want to explore other strategies that could potentially make decisions seem more real in digital context, such as reminding users about the real world impact of the decision. But when paper is an option or research suggests that it can be an effective way to make a decision feel more real and representative of the decision makers as a person, ultimately increasing the chances that they'll make a virtuous choice. Bueno, esto básicamente, en resumen, este artículo nos habla de un experimento que se realizó con aproximadamente 2.500 personas alrededor de Estados Unidos y China, donde daban a elegir entre dos o tres opciones y para elegir esas opciones daban como métodos un lápiz y un papel y un medio digital, y en este caso era como que una tablet. Y el resultado que ellos obtuvieron mayormente era que las personas que utilizaban lápiz y papel para tomar las decisiones, como que ellos daban a elegir que era elegir un menú saludable o poco saludable, si donar a la caridad o no, si elegir un libro como más educacional que de entretenimiento. Entonces, básicamente, este estudio nos dice que las personas que usan papel y lápiz toman decisiones más beneficiosas porque sienten que tomar decisiones por este medio se siente como más real que hacerlo por un medio digital. Pero también hicieron otro experimento tomando decisiones lo mismo, con un papel y lápiz o con un medio digital, pero también tomando decisiones por otras personas. Y en este caso, en este experimento, el resultado sí no fue tan similar al anterior, porque se iba como más por el lado de la moral, como que el medio dejaba de ser importante porque entraba a ser importante como la otra persona percibiera cómo soy yo en este caso, si voy a tomar la decisión por alguien más, entra más mi moralismo y cómo voy a pensar que me percibe la otra persona al momento de tomar la decisión. Entonces, básicamente es eso, que para tomar decisiones, cuando sean decisiones más importantes o que necesitamos que la decisión sea muy beneficiosa, muy positiva, nos recomienda este artículo que usemos un papel y un lápiz porque así vamos a sentir que la decisión o el momento o lo que necesitamos, no sé, elegir, se va a sentir muchísimo más real, entonces como que vamos a ser un poquito más conscientes. También decía el artículo que a pesar de que, bueno, el papel y el lápiz es una buena herramienta, pues para que, pues, o sea, es una buena herramienta para tomar decisiones, por lo que decimos que se siente más real que en un medio digital. Pero entonces entra el tema de que tanto papel no es beneficioso para el medio ambiente. Entonces entraríamos en problemas ambientales y lo que dice es que podemos buscar alternativas para que por medios digitales las decisiones se sientan más reales, como poner alertas o poner enunciados, poner advertencias, para que las decisiones por medio digital también puedan ser igual de efectivas que cuando estamos usando un lápiz y un papel para que se sientan igual de reales. Esto sería todo por hoy.